welcome to Crafting with Jane. Today I'm having a bit of a play. I've done a couple and they haven't really worked out, so we'll have to see how this one comes. I'm using some stamps by a company called Lavinia Stamps. This is a lady who runs her own craft company, has a shop now, and her name is Lavinia. And so that's the company. If you want to have a look, I don't know whether they ship internationally. I'm pretty sure they do now. Most companies do, but they're a UK based company and they make the most beautiful stamps, sort of fairies and pretty things like that. So anyway, I was using some Posca pens for something which, as I say, didn't quite work because I put a blob on it. And these are pink and purple, and I've just sort of mixed them here in my palette because I was using it for something, and I thought I'm going to have a go at using that. So I'm just going to add just a little drop of water in on here like that. We don't want it too runny, but I just want some, just a little bit, put a little bit on there. And a little bit more of the purple, just like that. And then I might actually just use my spray bottle, which does just have, is that, oh no, that's not, that's actually got some stuff in it. Here we go. I was looking, I've got some mica powder in that one. This is just a clear water, so I'm just going to just put a little bit of colour on there. Now I've got a, where is it, just a little piece of acetate here, and I'm going to do this little thing of taking colour up onto that, and then you just put it down like, whoops, put it down like that over on your card, just in little sort of areas. And I'm not very good at doing this, but you can just get a nice sort of little variation of colour. So, and you can dab it off with a towel. I'm going to have, I want a little bit more of the purpley colour on this, I think. So this is just, as I say, using Posca pens. You can use, I think, probably whatever you want. But this, I think, is, it's a nice way of just getting a bit of a splatter on there without it being too, just get some, without it being too over the top. And you can just sort of spread it out a bit with this, and it just gives a little bit of colour definition. I think that looks quite pretty, actually. Now, do I want any more on there? I don't think I do. If I think I, again, I'm very much, I keep over egging things. I think that's my problem, as in I keep going on and on and on and adding more and adding more, and you don't always have to. So that's going to be my background bit. Now, hopefully it won't take very long to dry, and in fact what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dab it out so that it's not too wet, and that's just given a nice little sort of splattery pattern on there. I then want to add this little fairy, so I've got this little fairy here which is sort of blowing bubbles, which I think is quite sweet, and I'm going to do her in a very dark purple because I don't want to do her in black. I want it to be a little more subtle, so this is a dark purple colour, and I'm going to just stamp her up, make sure I've got lots of ink on her, and then I'm just going to put her down here in the bottom. Give her a good press. You have to let it soak into the paper. Like that. That's lovely. I like that. And I like the sort of background on there. I think that looks very pretty. Okay, so now we need a little bit to sort of ground her and to add some things on there. So I think I want to have, I'm going to have some foliage and things like that in there. So let's, again, these are all Lavinia stamps today. And I've just had, oh, here's my long block, isn't it? Let's take, we don't want the fairy on there anymore. We've got her done. So I'm just going to put this sort of like a little vine which can go up or down. And I'm going to take the same colour. So I'm just inking it up. And then what I want to do is to have it, could have it hanging down because it's that vine, isn't it? So I'm going to take it from the top here and then take it down like that. Take it down like that. Just sort of take it along on the bottom on here, just so that it goes through, because I think that sort of looks quite pretty in there because you've got the pink that's coming through from behind. And I might just, I'm going to take it up this way and just add some getting it as pale as I can, just so it across the top. That's nice. So that sort of put that in on there. Then I want, because the fairy's sort of floating a bit, but that's fine. I just want some, I've got some words here. And I want to do those in, let me do them in this one, which is the slightly darker colour. I'm just going to stamp it up. It doesn't have to be overly perfect because I don't want it to be coming out everywhere. And I want to stamp it off a few times. So let me just stamp it off once. That's probably about right. That was upside down, wasn't it? So I want the words the right way up. Could have them upside down, but I don't think so. So I just want to have some of them coming across like that. And probably just like that a little bit. Because I don't want it on too much. So just a little bit of words and things on there, which I think will look quite nice. Do I want it coming down on the fairy a bit? Maybe. Not too bright, just a little bit. That's better. Very, very pale on there, which is what I wanted. And then I've got another little foliage one. No, I've got some. There's some little toadstools that I had out on here. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, so I've got this little tiny toadstool. I think a couple of those down the bottom might work. I want to have these bubbles coming up a bit more. So let's have, this is a little sort of starry one. It's not quite a bubble, but I think it'll work. So they're just little, that looks fine, doesn't it? It's sort of blowing up a bit. I could even take it just a little bit paler as it goes up into the, yes, that looks nice. Now I've got this little toadstool, here it is, quite a little pale one. I'm just going to put some of those around her feet. I'm doing it all in the same colour, but I want to build that up first and then I might add some others on afterwards. So let me just do one like that, one like that, and probably one like that in around her. That's quite pretty. Now I can take some in slightly different colours. So this is the rich raspberry. So let's have a few little toadstools in on here, like that. And then I've got this one, which is another sort of swirly little one, and I think I'm going to try and put some of that. I might have the pink actually. No, this I think. Let's try and just put a couple of little ones like that down in on the bottom. That I think works. Okay, so then I want to do just a little bit of bringing the edges round a little bit. So let's take, I've got a blending brush out here, and I'm going to take it in. I'm going to start it in the pink actually. I love the way that that background, just putting that little bit of colour, has really just made it look quite pretty. And I'm going to try with this and just see how. Oh yes, that's better. Because I don't want it to be too dark. So I think this will actually work quite well. A little bit up on the side. Just a little bit on the top. So we've got those other colours coming through like that, which I think is lovely. And all I want to do now is to just ground her a little bit. I could do it in the pink, but I think I'm going to do it in the middle one, so this one. And all I need to do is to just do a little bit of torn paper. Like that. I can just put it down just at a little bit of an angle like that. Take a bit of the colour. Bring that in there, and that's just given her a little bit of, just take it down on there, just a tad into that corner. There we are. So that's just given her a little thing for her to be stepping on, which has grounded that a bit. Now, just to finish off round on the edges, what I'm going to take is, I could do it in black or I could do it in white. Quite sure which one. Let's have a look, because we like our highlights and our lowlights. Or I could do it in purple or pink. Pink might work actually. I want to have just some little speckles coming in, and I find the easiest way to do them is to let's take this in on here, and I'm going to do them in black and white, I think, because I don't think I want more purple in there. So I'm just going to take a bit of black in the poster and a little bit of white like that. I've got my spray bottle, and I'm just going to, little bit on there, little bit on there, and then I've got I'm going to do the white first, so I'm just going to mix that up in there. It's got a little bit of pink with it, but that's fine, and I'm just going to just gently just do some little splats to come through. You can see them coming just quite prettily in through on there. Then I'm going to mix it up in the black, just have a few little splats in on there. I don't want them too dark. Mix that up and have a bit of grey, so it's all the same sort of colour coming through. There we go. And then we've got that, which I think looks quite pretty that way. and then all I would do is I would mat it onto a darker colour and then just add some little sparkles and things like that in there. So let's have a look and see what sparkles I've got. I've got a bit of gold, probably got okay, that's going to be, I was just looking to see what colours I had. So these are, they're what they call glitter glue, but they give just a little bit of a sparkle on there. So I'm just going to add just some little dots in here. Just in on that side coming down. Just adds a little bit of sparkle. And again, I'm doing it fairly randomly because I don't think you always have to make it too much. Just dot it about, and then I've got the gold as well, which again is quite pretty. But any little sort of fancy little bits that you want to do, the gold just gives just a little bit of a colour down through on here. Like that. And then the only thing I'm going to do is I would mount it onto, let's see if I've got that's probably a bit too red. Yes, it is. I need to probably put it onto black, and I don't think I've got any. I haven't got a piece of black cut, but I'm just going to give it to you as an idea of what it's going to look like. So I just mat it onto black, and then you've got that. And I think it does look quite pretty. It's very simple, but I really like that backing on there. And I think that that looks really nice. What I am going to just do, which I should have really done before I got the pen, is to just border it. And I really like doing the borders on it. I'm going to do it in black, and I'm literally just going to take a border around there. So take it straight line, do a little up and down. I'm just making sure that I don't go through my glue. Like that. Take it around on here. And I do these little zigzag pieces because it then means that if you're not completely straight, it doesn't matter too much. And I'm doing it quite carefully because of the glue that's on there. So I'll have that coming around there, and just doing that just edges it. I was putting some cards onto a site, one of the Facebook groups that I belong to, and one of the ladies said, you know, where did you get the your border stamp from? And I said, it's not, I just drew it on. And I say, not an original idea. I think people have been doing it for years. It's just like everything, things go in and out of fashion, and don't stay. There we go. That's given us a little bit of a border, and I think that that's worked perfectly. So there we are. I'm going to, as I say, finish it off, mat it, and you'll then see it finished. But I hope you enjoyed that. As always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.